Hey everybody, this is Brandon Ford, and welcome to the Blind Rage podcast. I'm very excited to have Tony the Tiger, a.k.a. the Thunder from Down Under, here with me for Sleepaway Camp III. Say hi, Tony.
Very happy to be back with you. It's been too long.
It's been way too long. Way too long. And yes, I'm very excited to do this one. This one has become my favorite, I think, in the trilogy. For the longest time, it used to be part 2, but I think this one has bumped part 2.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I get to watch it again so you can change my mind.
Yes. Yes. Because Tony was underwhelmed the first time he sat down to watch this. And he's going to have to explain himself a little bit.
All right. We'll get to that when we...
We'll get to that. But for now, I'm just going to do a quick pluggies. So please check out my books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle editions by going to Amazon.com, as well as the Amazon app on your smartphone. Typing in Brandon Ford, you'll find several of my titles in paperback and Kindle editions. You'll also find my Amazon author page. Please subscribe to it so you'll get notified of my new releases. I am also on Audible. You can find several of my titles in audiobook format by going to audible.com and the Audible app on your smartphone and typing in Brandon Ford. You can, if you don't already, follow me on Instagram at writer Brandon Ford, on Twitter at Brandon Ford, and on Letterboxd at Brandon Ford. You can also follow Tony the Tiger at Tony_the_bear on Letterboxd. I think you should have done Tony the Tiger or or Thunder from Down Under.
Well, I was part of the bear community in Adelaide for a long time, so I just sort of kept that.
Yeah, Tony's into bondage and all that weird stuff, so
are you kink shaming me?
He wears Doc Martens and everything.
I'm not a lesbian, or I could be.
Well, maybe. No, Doc Martens are that's
Birkenstocks.
Birkenstocks. Yep.
Yes.
The Birkenstock. Yes, the Doc Martens are the more leather daddy.
Really?
Which I understand. Yeah. Oh, yes. Which Tony also is. Yes. You know what's so weird?
I dabble in a bit of leather, but nothing like what you're imagining. I imagine.
Okay. Okay. But you know what is a little disturbing for me is that there's a porn star who I am quite fond of. I haven't seen him really in anything much as of late, but I started following him when he was in his 20s, I guess, and now he's considered a daddy, which makes me feel very old. But I think he's like 45, 46.
Yeah.
I don't know. But in gay porn years, you know, that's a lot older. And I think you're considered a daddy in the gay porn world if you're like 35. So.
Well, according to Gay Bingo, 23 is twink retiree. So I'm guessing 24 is daddy.
Oh, you're over oh, okay. 23. Yeah, you're over the hill.
Yeah.
So, well, now nobody's ever going to want this mess, really, now, because I'm over the hill and I'm undateable. I don't have a charming accent like the Thunder from Down Under over here.
Your accent is plenty charming.
Not when everybody else has it. Oh, God. Okay.
Should we start the movie?
Yeah, before I start to go into depressive mode again. I need to get it together. All right.
Pull your socks up, lad.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, we are doing the version from the Scream Factory edition with the MGM logo at the beginning. So, yeah, I think on Prime it's the same version. So, if you want to watch there, or it's on Tubi. All of the Sleepaway Camps are on Tubi, actually, but they have ads. So, so if you want to find a way to watch along, we are going to begin with a 3 count. And, okay. Are we ready?
I certainly am.
All right. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, play.
Now, I meant to tell you the other day that a movie that I watched because of our conversations, incidentally, I watched Lethal Weapon 2.
Okay.
Just because of all of the amount of times they go, wait, do we go on 3 or 1, 2, 3, go? So, and every time we play a movie together, I feel like we have to have that conversation.
And this has what to do with Lethal Weapon 2?
A big thing that they do is they do a 3, 2, 1 count, and they need to make sure that they do it correctly.
I thought you were going to say you watched it because we talked about that scene when the girl threw herself out of the window in part 1.
Well, there was that as well, but that was part 1. And your affection for South African accents.
Oh, yes.
God, this hair. Like, the hair in this movie is like...
Well, I think that's probably the same wig.
Oh, being worn by Angela and Maria.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
the
first time I saw this, I saw it on, I saw it on YouTube, and I couldn't see that she had a tattoo of milkshake. I thought she had breast implant surgery, like that she had been a boy at one stage. So I gave it more relevance than it actually deserved.
Yeah, a little bit. What the fuck? Oh my god. I don't even know what the hell is happening anymore.
Well, the greatest fear is coming along.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know what happened with DVD and Blu-ray players, but way back when, there used to be a slow motion feature, but I don't find them anymore. Well, I'm sure you can find a way to do slow motion with VLC.
With playing,
but when the truck hits her, and you slow it down, you can see that it's a mannequin, and the head comes off.
The last time I watched something in super slow-mo, it was the brain exploding scene in Scanners, just to see how they did it. It was like a balloon with a face.
Or maybe it's not the same wig because you see her here.
Oh no, but once she's pulled out. Oh yeah, sorry, I misheard you. But yeah, the wig, it reminds me of like Jane Fonda's wig in Frankie and Grace and Frankie. It's like an old lady wig.
This is pretty grisly. I mean, I know that these are supposed to be in a way, dark comedies, but some of the deaths, Jesus Christ.
I think of all the deaths, the garbage truck one has affected me, is because that happens every now and then. Is that, you know, you'll have recently in a town a few 100 kilometers away, a young boy had fallen asleep in a dumpster and got crushed to death the next day. So,
oh my god! Why did you have to tell me that? Now you just brought the commentary way down.
Bringing back the depression again. Yeah.
Jesus Christ! More of this thrashing metal music, which I'm not. I don't like this.
Yeah,
but I can't.
Sorry, just quickly. What I liked about the first Sleepaway Camp was that music at the beginning. That really suited camp. You know, where those ghosts were sort of talking in the background. And I think that camp music, you know, and had they done it in a minor chord, would have added to a lot more creepiness. But this just makes it just some like a teenage schlock.
Yeah, I think it makes it of its time.
Yes.
But Herman and Lily, what's that a reference to?
The monsters.
Well, Tawny, we brung together 2 specially selected groups.
And who's Lily? Is she been in anything else?
I don't think so. I know that she went on to teach acting after this.
Well, those who can't do.
That's true. Well, I hear that a lot about actors who are in B movies, and they went on to teach because they weren't very successful.
Yeah. I did like this as a way to introduce all the characters, just because there is so many. At least you get to sort of get their names out of the way.
Peter Doyle. Houston Heights, Texas.
Bobby Stark. Western Springs, Illinois. Home of the Western Springs Wildcats.
I want to point out there's Tracy Griffith, Melanie's sister.
Oh, really?
And here is Jill Tereshita.
Oh.
Oh my god, that is so fucking racist. I can't believe you just said that.
No, when I first saw her, I thought, oh, is that her? But no, I looked it up and it's not, obviously.
All Asian people don't look alike.
Oh,
okay.
I know that.
That was Jill Tereshita. Jesus Christ.
What was she from?
Night of the Demons.
Oh, okay.
Oh, God. Oh.
And what's Tony
get
from?
Letters? But I want to say, Jesus Christ. When I finding the Sleepaway Camp website, because all right, here's what happened. Around 2000, when I first got on, my first computer first got online, it was sleepawaycampmovies.com, which I think still exists. But the website was designed by 2 friends, one of whom is an Aussie, by the way.
Oh, okay.
And the other one is from the New York area. So, and they had a pretty nasty falling out. So nasty, I guess, because they never spoke to each other again. But they both went separate ways. One, the Aussie went on to create sleepawaycampfilms.com, which focuses mostly on 2 and 3 and the production footage of part 4. And sleepawaycampmovies.com went on to concentrate more on the original as well as the career of Felissa Rose. But back when they were all one, I was that was like a gold mine for me. I remember I was like fascinated about with all of the interviews. There was a lot of text interviews because that's the way you did it way back when, because there was no YouTube, and everybody was on dial-up. So yeah, there was text interviews and pictures, which took forever to load. And I believe that one of the, I think the only member besides, I think Felissa's email address might have been up for fan mail, but I'm not sure. The only one that I remember finding was Daryl Wilcher, who is the African American actor who plays Riff.
Yep.
And I sent him an email. It was like the first fan email that I ever sent to anybody.
Did you start it with, "This is the first fan email I've ever sent anyone"?
That's exactly what I did. Yes. No, I didn't know what to say other than I figured I should ask him a question. Because I didn't want to just say, you know, I really enjoyed your performance in the movie, which I could have done and just left it at that.
Yep.
But I had to,
but
you know,
being an email in pre-Twitter days, people were actually talking, you know, communication was with some length.
Yes. And, you know, me being a writer and everything, I don't like emails that are just one line or one sentence.
Yeah.
So I felt compelled to at least send him a paragraph. So I sent him an email saying how much I enjoyed the movie and his performance. And I asked him what they used for his body in the scene when Angela hammers the stake into him. That was the best I could come up with.
Yep.
Because I was a little slow. But he responded. He was very nice. And he, you know, was thankful for my reaching out to him. And he said he didn't know. He said he assumed that they used sandbags or something. Oh, I remember this. I just remembered because I'm such a fucking cornball. I had to put a little joke in there. I was like, I know they really didn't use you. Oh, I was 19. Jesus. But yeah, all things considered, he was nice. And there's an interview with him on the Blu-ray and the DVD, and he's like not at all like this. Like his character. He's actually more like Peter.
Okay.
The other African American actor.
The one with the bombs, with the
firecrackers. Yeah, he's a lot like him. He's like kind of dorky.
Yeah. Sweet.
She's reading The Catcher in the Rye.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She's a phony.
I wanted to say when she smiled right there, she has a really, really pretty smile.
Sorry, I forgot her name.
Pamela. Yeah.
Actually, I remember now who the Lily reminds me of is Patrick Swayze.
Lily reminds you of Patrick Swayze. Is that what you just said to me?
From Tu Wong Fu.
Are you out of your mind?
Well, see, I feel like this forgives my, I'm bad with phases. And like, I will see someone and go, oh, they look like that person. And then everyone's like, no, they don't. Whereas I can still see it.
Okay, no.
But Herman's a bit weird in this.
Oh, that's Michael J. Pollard, who's been in a million things. I think he passed away.
Oh, God.
I'm pretty sure he passed away.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that he was nominated for Academy Award for something.
Okay.
or one for some in the 70s. I think before he died, he became I hate to even say his name, a Rob Zombie staple.
Oh, okay.
I know he was in House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah.
But that was, you know, kind of, or it still is his thing, where he will either, his cast, his ensemble is made up primarily of either people who have been in horror movies or people who were once prominent character actors in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
That's his thing. He brings them back. And it's always the same people.
Yeah.
I mean, like Brad Dourif has been in a bunch of his movies. Bill Moseley has been in a bunch of stuff.
And there's his wife as well.
And his wife, of course, who can't act her way out of a hat. Yeah, I'm sure the Munsters is going to be wonderful.
Oh, yeah. I don't really watch too much Rob Zombie. Like I don't actively.
That's a
look at
quality.
his work.
That's a quality. Oh.
Oh. See, said in a different tone.
Any more shit like this, and I'll have your butt in jail so fast you won't know what happened. You got it.
Do they ever say why they were two filmed together? Because this was filmed
Money.
right after number 2. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, money, I guess.
Like I wasn't sure if I doubted this was going to be the case if they had one movie and then sort of broke it off into 2, but they're two completely different movies.
No, they were under contract to make for 2 movies.
Okay.
Yeah, and it says in the opening credits that for both of them, based on an original idea by Robert Hiltzik, who are directed the original. So he submitted his ideas for sequels, but they weren't. Well, I think they might have chosen like a tiny speck of what he wanted, and then just. But the actual, I meant to say this. I will say this, really nice boobs.
I wish
then
I
she
had
went-
a drinking game whenever they showed tits in this movie.
Yeah, but those are clearly fake. Jill's, Jill Teresheet, and then she went bigger.
Ah. Whereas Felicia's bra kind of reminds you of something Madonna would wear.
I don't even think that is a bra. I don't know what the hell that is.
Well, it's something, yeah.
It was like some kind of modesty, whatever.
Yes. A bustier.
I don't think it was a boost. No. But yeah, I meant to say this or talk about this in the in during the commentary for part 2, but the writer is listed as, for both movies, is listed as Fritz Gordon, which is not. They were both actually written by Michael Hitchcock, who is listed as the executive in charge of production in both of them. But Michael Hitchcock has gone on to do a lot of big movies. He worked a lot with Christopher Guest.
More in comedy,
A lot of comedies. Mm-hmm.
I always liked him in Best in Show. He was part of the Yuppie couple, I think. Now I say I forget who he was. Married to Parker Posey, I reckon.
he is on the commentary tracks for
Really?
for both of these, and as Fritz Gordon.
Yeah.
And he kind of, makes fun of himself, and he says something about how I saw Michael Hitchcock and I like decked him in the face, or it was something silly.
Yeah. See, I was actually gonna mention what you're saying, but I didn't find any way to corroborate it. Just because I looked up Fritz Gordon, and under his trivia said nothing about. Ooh. Beg my pardon.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Do you have a name for whatever that was you just coughed up?
That was a sneeze.
Trivia about Fritz Gordon, yes, go on.
It didn't say... now my ears are blocked. It didn't say anything about his pseudonym being Michael.
No. No, it doesn't. And that's pretty well known. I don't know why it never got changed on IMDb.
And then, like, I think it was a Reddit thread. Like, people were saying that they've seen pictures and they look different. So, and I don't want to go diving too much into it, but I'm glad that you mentioned it.
There was a picture of him. Well, I've never seen any of those Christopher Guest movies, so, but I do remember on the Sleepaway Camp website, there was a picture of him on set, and he was like, going through the script.
The pamphlet.
I don't remember what he looked like. He just had like, he was an average looking guy with glasses.
Good. Let's cook something before we set up camp.
So I think they were, because they really couldn't fake summer in this one.
Yeah.
Because it was way too cold. So they don't really call it camp. They call it an autumn retreat.
Well, yeah, it seems more like it's for older kids who are delinquents. Well, for some of them.
Well, that's what it is. It's supposed to be that's what Lily says in the beginning. It's to create a better understanding between the rich and the poor, because there's underprivileged kids and people who are from more what's the word?
Well-to-do.
Well, we'll go with well-to-do families.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's supposed to be an experiment to see how well they get along, and the answer is not very well.
Well, they'd never know the answer properly.
Let me know when you want these sticks, Mr. Miranda.
Like, they could have banded together to fight back on Angela.
Where's Snowboy? I don't know.
I find this guy a bit cute. Like, I think because the blonde hair doesn't really suit.
I remember watching this with my parents, and I asked what a dildo was. And my mother
Did they give you
said,
a correct answer?
well, my mother said to my father, Joe, your son wants to ask you a question.
Yeah.
And he didn't answer.
Go to your mother's bedside table. No, I'm just trying.
Come on out, sweet pea.
Well, that's like when my mother was learning English. She heard someone say the word bullshit, and she didn't know it, and so she'd ask people what. When she heard words she didn't know what they were, she'd ask people what they meant. And she asked someone, and they said, oh, it means nothing. So she started sort of using it in that term.
So it's like, Mom, I'm going out with my friends. Bullshit.
Yeah. What have you been up to today? Oh, bullshit. You know, like that type of...
So your mother spoke Croatian first?
Yeah, very much. They lived... oh, God. They moved over 40 years ago. And they would have been 35, something like that.
Oh. I don't understand how it's possible to grow up in a house with parents who speak another language and not be fluent in that language.
Well, I was when I was younger, but
I've known people who are Hispanic and their parents spoke primarily Spanish, and
yeah,
I was like, "Do you speak it?" And they're like, "No, I can understand it a bit, but."
I actually enjoy speaking Croatian with other people who don't speak it well, so that we can it's sort of like we do.
Smarter.
No. We speak to it. It's like Spanglish, but Croatian instead of Spanish, where we just can understand each other because we both speak it so badly.
Mm-hmm.
Here's that stick from part 2.
It is.
But did she cut off Herman's? His name is. Does she cut off his head or just stab him in the mouth?
It goes through his mouth.
Yeah. Sorry, I keep scoffing at stuff that's happening.
Are you offended by this?
Well, by the God,
I know.
by the nipple licking. Ugh.
I know, that's so gross.
And
well,
that
he really
flimsy
does.
underwear. Oh God.
But he really doesn't. He really doesn't lick it. He just like kind of puts his mouth on it. I think he didn't.
He does like a dry kiss of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a goldfish bulb.
Uh huh. That's gross.
Maria, give me a chance. My old lady don't give me no more, nothing no more.
My old lady don't give me no more, nothing no more.
So I wish that they just used an axe. Like I felt that her killing him with the stick was unrealistic.
Yes, I thought this was more like comical. Like she was.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting him to die here. But
yeah. This to me just kind of felt like she was scolding a little boy.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Get out of here. You know, that type of thing.
Yeah. I always looked at her hands, Pamela's hands here, because you could tell she's trying very hard not to touch her boobs.
Yeah.
Because her she's fists and they're up. It's like, I'm not touching those breasts. I am not getting Me Too'd.
Was that Angela or Pamela not wanting to touch them?
I think it was Pamela.
Yeah.
Hey, when's Herman and Jan coming back?
Oh, he's very cute.
But before he left, he said we should go to bed early. We've got a big day tomorrow. You brat. Snowboy, would you help me with the fish?
I'm busy.
Doing what?
I'm making.
He doesn't know. There's nothing remotely attractive about him.
Oh, I think he's a cutie.
That's my tent.
Bombs away.
Him, I would have had the belt in the mouth.
Oh, shit! You went up with that firecracker.
That's like that's like that scene in Boogie Nights, when they go to the house. You've never seen Boogie Nights, have you?
I haven't. I've seen the ending.
Of course you have.
Well, that's the main part. Actually, I did I painted a still from it for my art class. Not the ending. There was a bit where Heather Graham was taking a photo and just that.
You painted Heather Graham?
Yes. But what were you saying about the firecracker in Boogie Nights?
Well, there's a scene where 3 of the main characters are trying to they're doing a drug deal with baking soda. So they're trying to rip this guy off.
Ah, okay, yep.
And they're already very paranoid about it, and they're very edgy, and it's a very rich guy. And I'm sure this is very fascinating for people who listen to this podcast who have seen Boogie Nights 10,000 times, much like I have. But there's this kid who is just walking around the house, and he's dropping firecrackers, much like the ones that Peter keeps throwing. And he just keeps dropping them. And so it makes, I think it works for the scene because it's already very intense because you know something bad's going to happen because they're dealing this guy fake coke.
Yeah.
And he's got guns in the house. So yeah, and then you keep hearing this pop, pop, pop. So yeah, that was unnerving.
Yeah.
And especially toward the end of the movie, shit goes off the rails so crazy.
Because it starts to be based on some true story, I think.
Yeah.
There was a movie with Val Kilmer, I reckon.
Yeah, it was based on John Holmes.
Yes, yeah.
Who was so gross. Ugh. What, that fucking 14-inch dick did it for you, really?
It's like you can't win them all.
Well, first of all, he looked all cracked out all the time.
Yeah. He looked a bit like a slug to me. With a mustache.
Ugh. He just looked sleazy. And he was very unintelligent.
Yeah.
And he was a pathological liar.
Well, hasn't he recently been accused of rape by a few people?
He's been dead since the mid-'80s.
Oh, who am I thinking of? Sorry. The other one.
James
that looks
Dean?
like a slug. No.
Well, James Dean was.
He was in, I reckon he was in Orgasmo, briefly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's a chubby looking guy with the, you know.
Ron Jeremy.
Yes, that's the one. Yes.
I will say though, as gross as he is, his appendage is quite. It's very nice. Too bad what it's attached to is so slovenly. No, I don't think I believe that he raped anybody.
Yeah.
That guy has
like,
gotten
I don't know.
so
I
much
mean,
ass.
Yeah, it could be like one of those Linda Lovelace scenarios where they're into it and then get talked out of it after the fact.
Did you believe her story?
No, I mean, I saw the documentary Inside Deep Throat and felt that she was someone that could be swayed. So, like, but got, like, had the free will, but could be swayed, convinced to do something. So, you know, I'm sure, I don't think that she did the movie unwillingly, but then I feel that she was easily swayed into believing that she had, because there was this woman group that was trying to, I haven't seen it in that long, but there was a woman trying to convince her that she had been taken advantage of, and she turned her back on the movie.
Well, what I think is, well, she did a few porno movies. I don't think she did that many.
Yeah.
I think she was also in The Devil and Miss Jones. But yeah, she did a few, and I think that she thought that she was going to be this mainstream actress, but she couldn't act at all. And she did do a movie that very few people know about because it's so rarely seen and it's so awful. But it's called Linda Lovelace for President.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be a comedy, but it's, like I said, it's awful.
Yeah.
And that failed, and I think she had a lot of trouble getting roles. So then she, like, you know, decided to carve out this new opportunity, I guess, for herself.
Yeah.
And she had Ordeal ghost written for her, which was what Lovelace, the movie Lovelace, was based on. And I think she tried to spin things a different way. She became a feminist. She went on talk shows, I think, with Gloria Steinem. And
Yes, that was what I saw in the documentary.
Yeah, she became a feminist and was, you know, very outspoken about being against porn and how porn ruined her life and that she was raped while she was making that movie and blah, blah, blah. And then in her last years, she was penniless and had nothing. She had nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So what did she do? She went back into porn.
Yeah.
Yep. So I think because of that, it discredits everything.
Yep.
Because she went back into this evil porn industry that ruined her life and traumatized her, and all these people raped her, and then she went back into it. Now I don't believe a word you say.
Yeah. See, I sort of see where you're coming from for sure, but I also think that what I was saying is that not that I don't believe her, but that she was led to believe that way by other people, like by Gloria telling her, no, that wasn't consent, that you were raped, you know. And it's almost like, for me, more traumatic that, like more upsetting that she now believes both sides where she was raped and now she has to go back to it anyway.
Well, she took it a step further. I mean, she said that her boyfriend at the time made her do the movie, and she said in Deep Throat you can see bruises on me. That and nobody, and she said the people on the crew saw bruises on me, and I was even asked about them, and everybody's like, no, nobody saw anything. What are you talking about? But yeah, she made it out like that guy, I forget his name, Tex, whatever his name was. He was the evil mastermind behind the thing, and it was all his fault. And then there was that whole scene in the movie when he took her up to a hotel room and just left her there to get gang raped. I don't believe that at all. I think she was just trying to spice up her book.
Yeah,
and what was written in the book is what's in the movie.
Yeah.
What did she look like?
White.
I must say, I was very surprised that Amanda Seyfried played her. But I guess I can kind of see it.
I wanted to watch the movie, and I did buy the movie, but I never got around to watching it. It's somewhere, like it's not one that's lost, but.
And Adam Brody plays
the boyfriend.
No, he plays the guy who's in the movie with her.
Okay.
What the fuck is his name? No, I can't remember. Harry Reams.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Let's break up into pairs, Bobby.
But Adam Brody's a lot cuter than Harry Reams was.
What was he famous for? Gossip Girl. Was that it? Or
one of those shows.
Oh, okay. I think he was in Promising Young Woman, which I watched again the other day.
I think his breakthrough or breakout was he did a TV movie about the Brady Bunch with Kaylee Cuoco.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was based on whatever his name is, who played
Okay. Of course, I could say the same.
fuck, I can't remember names tonight.
Barbie?
You would have liked that.
No, the one who was considered to be the hunky one that everybody liked, but I didn't think
Peter?
was cute at all.
You know.
Greg.
Greg. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he played Greg, and Kaylee Cuoco played Marsha.
Yeah.
Bigger girl.
And it was supposed to be, you know, about them, what it was like for them making the TV show
Yeah.
at the time, because they had a date, they were dating.
Yes. And he dated the Mark Florence as well, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah. I always thought Peter
She did
was
not smoke
cute.
very long.
I always thought Peter was a lot cuter than he was.
I think, by way of having crushes, I think I tend to go for, because the dad was gay, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he died of AIDS.
Like the ones who, I don't tend to have crushes on straight people. Because I don't really have a shot.
So, if these people were gay, then you would have a shot.
Yeah. No. What I'm saying is like, no, generally when something that attracts me to someone is if they are attracted to me as well. Like if I'm not someone's type, then I don't tend to gravitate towards them. Because why would I want them to, you know, like, I wouldn't want to be with someone if they don't want to be with me.
Are you cheerleader?
Yes, I understand that, but I agree with that. At the same time, this is my favorite scene. But and I may be revealing a little too much here.
Step off me right now. You hear me?
But I
You're the
have
now.
had,
Help,
and like
something's
back
coming at
to when I was like 13, like going back a long time, I've had many a dream in which I was trying to not force myself, but like trying to convince a straight guy that he would be
To give it a
enjoying
shot.
himself with me.
Yeah. You know, I couldn't figure out how she was going to die. Then when she did, I was like, oh, that's how she's died.
Wait a minute. I have to do this. I have to do it. It's probably not going to sink, but I'm going to do it. Because you're a cheerleader, a fornicator, a drug taker, a nasty, snobby bigot, and besides that, you're real nice.
That could be in a John Waters movie.
I don't know if he likes horror. I know he liked Herschel Gordon Lewis.
I could imagine like
William Castle.
You know, Mink Stoll yelling that out at someone out of a window.
There were because Pamela Springsteen she's very little. I think she's like and especially here, she's like barely 100 pounds.
Yeah.
So she could not pull her.
No,
So
that's why I was wondering how it was going to go. Because
yeah, but she was really being pulled. I don't know how
yeah.
high up they pulled her, but there were like 3 other guys who were like underneath, and they were helping her because she could not do it.
Yeah.
She could not do it at all.
Isn't there a cabin up there?
There's the sunglasses.
Mm-hmm.
Was that from part 2?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is that where they found all those dead bodies last year?
Well, she's feeling Lily out just to see how much she knows about what she did.
I guess I read about
Yeah.
it.
Don't tell the others, it'll spook.
Now, also in the scene that's about to come up, when you see her having the fantasy about being the counselor again, what like the blue ribbon that she's wearing is fucking huge, and it's got a number 1 on it. And in part 2, it's just like, you know, a regular little blue ribbon. So, you know, in her fantasies, she was not only beloved by her peers as well as the kids, but she also got this giant blue ribbon with the number 1 on it. I mean, this scene is, like I said before, is definitely for padding, but I like it because it shows a different side to her.
Yeah.
You know, that things could have gone differently
Had she become a...
had she dealt with different kids, or she hadn't been, because they didn't like her, and they were making fun of her behind her back, much like she was being made fun of in the first movie. So it was kind of like going to camp as opposed to being a counselor for her.
Yeah.
In the second
and again, we've discussed this about part 2, is that they don't really like her gender role doesn't really make any mark. It's more about how she was abused by the other children that made her do things, as opposed to... Whereas I always thought that her aunts forcing her into a different gender was far more...
Well, yeah, traumatic.
Long-lasting on someone.
Well, when she says I've been abused, I always thought that's what she meant. Because she says I've been abused, picked on, and misunderstood more often than I whatever. But when she said abused, I always thought Aunt Martha picked on were the kids in camp.
I'm surprised they reshot that. Because like you're saying, the last one, she just had the small ribbon.
Yeah. And I like, too, the camper who out of frame,
she rolls her eyes,
who's doing the song with her, rubs her shoulder.
Yes.
Like to cheer her on. So this is really the way she This is really the way she dreamed it would go.
She should have just killed whoever her hairdresser is in both cases. Oh, I hate her hair.
This is a very emotional scene. And you're talking about hair.
Ugh.
I think the you like me, really like me kind of...
Stretch the comedy a bit too much.
Yeah, well, no, I don't really think this scene was supposed to be funny. But I think
it put in a silly, funny element to it.
It made, yes. And I don't, yeah. And I liked it better without that.
Yeah.
And it did that, was it you who told me that you liked the way that editing...
Oh, yeah, yes. Did. Yeah, I did. I do like that type of...
Because, I do like the way they did that with her, with it cutting from her taking the guitar band off and her now.
Yeah. Back and forth and back and forth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was good.
Oh, there's her other wigs on the...
Oh, stop it.
If she could
so
turn
evil.
No, it's more Tina Turner. That's what it is.
Oh God. You know.
Thanks, dear Cindy. No, she's
all this talk about her hair, you just made me think of a dream that I had. And I remember it's very specifically not one of those kinds of dreams, but I just remember this very specifically because it was around the time that I got the Sleepaway Camp 2 VHS, and I was such a fucking fanboy over these movies, and I would watch them over and over again, and blah blah blah. And I dreamt that I was in a hotel, I guess on vacation with my parents or something, and I looked down the hall, and Pamela Springsteen stepped out of a room, and I ran up to her, and I remember this very specifically because I could see her face clear as day, and I remember she had her hair, she had like a perm, and it was like curly and was full, and she had like some product in it, and the only thing that I could think to say was, I love Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3. And she smiled when she saw me rush up to her, and then her face turned serious, and she went, "Oh, you shouldn't be watching those movies." Yeah. So, only my dreams.
The only girl dream I remember ever having was I dreamt I went down on Pamela Anderson.
Oh, for God's sake. I've had many, many, many dreams of seeing Madonna in concert.
Oh, okay.
Can I tell you something?
I'd try to I'd like to watch what's it called? Dangerous Game. I've been trying to find that. And I can find like 50 minutes of it on YouTube. So
it's on Tubi.
When I looked up the website, it said it wasn't available in this region. But I will give it a try on the actual Tubi app as well. But
she's actually really good in it, and I'm not saying this as a fanboy, but I think she does do well.
Yeah, a lot of critics were saying that she was quite fine in it. That there was one article just saying that she kind of bagged the movie, and they felt that she did it preemptively. Well, that she was actually quite good.
I think, yeah, she because she wasn't in control, and I think that's where a lot of people think that she failed as an actress, because she had to have say on everything, and supposedly, I don't know if this is true or not, but they had a coach for Body of Evidence, and she walked off the set, and she was overheard saying she thinks she knows everything.
Oh, okay,
yeah. So, but Abel Ferreira, who directed Dangerous
Driller. Sorry.
Yeah, he did do the Driller Killer too.
Yeah,
but he also directed Dangerous Game.
Yeah.
But he's a very hands-on director. He has a vision, and he's not gonna let somebody, throw a stomping their feet. So, and one of her biggest complaints when she signed on to do the movie was he wanted her to grow out her roots, and she was not happy about that.
It's like that moment in the Brady Bunch movie where Marsh goes, "Cut my hair."
I love RuPaul in those movies.
Yes, yeah, she's fun.
Mrs. Cummings.
Alright, it's gonna be your turn now. I'll tell.
So Marsha here gets some of that sweet, sweet Mexican dick, and she doesn't get killed. I don't think he is. He is Mexican. He looks Italian to me.
Okay, what's his last name?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't remember.
I was gonna say what's his first name, but the cast list that I have isn't very extensive.
Oh, his first name, his character?
Yeah. It's not Eugene, is it? No.
Tony, are you in a
Well,
gang?
his
No,
character,
it's not, no.
his character's name is
Really?
Tony.
Oh.
I would think that would stick.
Well, what is that like?
Oh, you know?
No.
Baggy pants, man. The lowriders, the bandanas.
He
So
does
what
do
Tony?
the
What
accent
Tony
well.
was he named after?
I wish I could get out.
In West Side Story.
Oh, okay.
Only do that is to move.
Well, you could
So
move.
Tony, Arab, Snowboy.
You in Idaho.
It's Ohio.
Who else?
Now, you made me think of. Did you ever used to watch Will and Grace?
I did, unfortunately.
There was a scene where Jack's singing the song Maria in like for a audition, and he says a month's when a girl, but he does girl in air quotes, and like it's apt for this movie because Maria's was born a boy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he is, because you can see his uncut.
What?
Just being cheeky.
What's wrong? Nothing. Just if we're gonna make love.
Make love.
Yes,
I know.
I'm moving to Ohio.
And you know, she had that shit planned.
Yes.
I don't think it was just happenstance that she had a condom in her pocket. When she found out that she was getting paired up with Tony, she was like, I'm going to get me a piece of that.
Yeah. Just gonna make good use of that little pocket in those jeans.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? I was beginning to worry about her anyway. I'll get 2 strips of cloth.
I got some.
But I think it's interesting that, you know, she has sex and she ends up surviving the movie.
Although, like, I don't think this thing was then going to be in the original, but apparently there was going to be a dog in part 3 that survived.
I remember hearing that. I think it was, yeah, Marsha had a dog. Yeah, but dog,
Yes.
it was too expensive to have a trainer or something, and
Well,
they always
it was supposed to maul Angela, and then later in the car.
Hasn't been easy taking
Oh.
over this place. Nobody wants to go to a camp.
Tony gets to keep the dog.
I don't remember that, but I don't like that ending at all.
So have you ordered your
Oh no, well it didn't
No,
happen
what-
because of budgetary reasons. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but what I always love in a final girl is a final girl who starts out sweet and innocent like Marsha does and is just put through the ringer and completely loses her shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Like when I always think, I think she is one of my favorite final girls because of that. And in Slumber Party Massacre 3, the final girl also loses her mind. And there is a guy who kills everybody with a drill, and she turns the drill on him.
Yeah, yeah.
And she just goes completely crazy, and by the end she's covered in blood, and it's like, that is a final girl right there.
I think, like, I've had a theory about horror movies just since I watched a documentary about Dario Argento. He was talking about, he was getting slack how a lot of his victims are women, like, and he was being called misogynistic. But for me, I feel that with horror movies, you know, you got the villain, and then you've got the fight or flight reaction, and it's the guys who will fight and the women who will flight. And in both cases, they get killed for it. But once the woman changes that and fights, then she becomes the victor in the end. It's a case of going against your instinct. That had maybe the guys ran away as opposed to going to investigate a noise, they might have survived. And had the women, stabbed Jason a couple of more times, they would have survived as well.
Well, I mean, what people seem to forget is while girls do, or women, do get killed a lot in horror and slasher movies, so do men. And a lot of the time, the men get killed in grislier ways. Like, look at what's about to happen here. He gets his fucking arms ripped off.
Backwards.
That's nasty.
This is like something in one of those dirty magazines, you know?
So,
Bondage camp. Oh, wouldn't that be cool?
What are you laughing about?
Reading about this?
No, he's saying a bondage game, like it's going to write into Penthouse Forum after this.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's thinking about doing.
And you can see
I really appreciate this.
The mist coming out of their mouth with how cold it is.
Oh, yeah.
I think you're a really neat person.
I think you're a really neat person.
So, when do we screw?
I don't really think he's a bad guy. He's just horny.
Yeah, like I felt bad when they're on the jetty and he comes onto her, and it was like, oh, he's gonna die now. Because I thought he was like quite sweet. But
yeah, he just liked her. Well,
Yeah.
I think it was partially that he liked her, and that because she came from a lower class background, that he thought that she would be easy.
oh, okay, yeah. He could get freaky. See, this just commenting on this movie. I feel this movie is the same act repeated 3 times. Because the 3 campers,
Yeah.
3 different groups.
Yeah,
and they just all get
she
killed
goes.
off.
She goes from group to group. Yep. Doesn't mean it's not fun.
Exactly.
Angels are pretty, angels can
And
fly.
here is an angel that can make you die. You got no style, you got no flair. All you do is fight and swear. So say your prayers and make amends, 'cause your life story is about to end.
Go Rangers.
I don't know if he
Get
said
to
you
say the word
fuckhead or you.
fuckhead very often.
Yeah.
Well, I've got the
Wait.
subtitles going for some reason, but he says fuckhead.
Oh, he said fuckhead. I wasn't sure if he said fuckhead or fuckass.
I've found out that my go-to swear is fuckstain. And I didn't realize that I'd say it, but apparently I do a lot.
I thought your go-to was butterscotch. 'Cause you're such a good, sweet Croatian boy.
That's when I'm not. That is my controlled swear, is I say, oh, butterscotch.
She made her decision right there about Marsha. Because I think she had, right there was when she was like, oh,
Herman wants me in this group
I thought you're not who I thought you were.
Yeah.
with Marcia. Oh my God.
And Anita's another one. Anita didn't do anything. But neither does the Asian kid who ends up being the 3. Oh, be prepared, because when they do the game, I'm going to be reciting all the dialogue, because that's another one of my favorite moments.
When they do the what, sorry?
But yeah, Anita didn't do anything, and neither did the Asian kid. But I think they were just victims of circumstance, because they were of the last, and she had to get rid of everybody, just like Diane in part 2.
Yeah, yeah.
Lucky we have this. First aid kit is pretty empty. Well, it doesn't look that bad.
And the when I recorded the commentary the first time, I did all the dialogue. too. I did the rap, I did the flagpole, and I did the rules of the game. Those are my 3 favorite
How well do you
scenes.
know him?
You could have just redubbed the whole thing.
I could.
He's a terrible counselor, and so is Lily.
They're not that bad.
Oh, they're not that bad.
They
They eat steak while we eat fish. I'm not going to do it.
Mm.
And she's so lazy, she doesn't do anything but sit around all day.
And I think
I have eyes.
while I think the writing in both of them is very good, I really like Pam a lot. I think she does very, very well. And especially I think she does better in this one than she does in the second one. I think that had to do with her being more comfortable with the role by this point.
Well, yeah, and I'm sure that hair.
Stop it.
Wait. It was like a hug around the head.
Does Lily really just sit around all day? Yeah. In fact, she's out there right now. Go see for yourself. Really? Can I, Barn?
Sure. Just don't laugh.
Like with a lot of the, I do feel bad for the victims here. Like, but compared to like Friday the 13th and the Halloween, the victims just die randomly anyway. It's not.
Oh yeah.
Like as if they're motivated. But it sort of felt like with a lot of Angela's earlier work, it was if they were mean, but now it's just quite kitchen sink killing.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like every time I go to camp, somebody loses their hair.
Another one of my favorite moments.
You remind me of this girl I used to know. Her name was
Gotcha.
Molly.
Tracy's really good too, I think. She did do a few movies. I think she was also in Fast Food. I think I said that.
Okay.
But she was also in a movie called The First Power with Lou Diamond
Phillips. Oh, I used to like that movie.
I didn't like her character in the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, she quit acting and she opened a sushi restaurant.
Really? Oh, that's interesting.
You look just like your son when you
See, now she's just vicious for no reason.
How many have you killed this time?
I don't know. Lots. But I had no choice. They deserved it.
And her body motion and her facial expressions here I love, like especially when he's saying how are you going to do it, and he starts running down the list and she's like rolling her eyes like maybe.
Yeah.
Fire. Battery acid. Or you're just gonna cut my head off like you did my son's.
And he's trying to intimidate her, but she's unfazed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, really, he should realize that she's got something behind her back. Nobody walks like that.
Gonna be.
A gun.
I remember when I was a kid, probably because I was stupid. I was a kid and I was stupid, but I remember when she put the gun down in front of him, I remember thinking, what, does she think, is she trying to make it look like he killed himself? But then, I realized she just doesn't need it anymore.
Yeah.
That's why she left it there. And you could tell, you could hear the weight. That was a real gun when she put it down.
Although I don't think her sprained ankle really comes into play any time later anyway.
It does.
It does?
It does. When, after the game, when she leaves them to get loose, she limps out the door.
Oh, yeah.
You have to watch
Oh, no,
it.
I
But
realize.
she does a little limp. Yeah.
No, I realize that the limp stays, but I don't think there was any reason for, like, had, for instance, someone gotten away because she had a limp. That might have been a reason for it, but.
You mean it didn't slow her down?
Yeah.
Yeah. While I'm watching this now, I'm definitely reminded of how much more I like this one better than the second one.
What made you like this one more than the second one?
Well, I think I like and how Angela's character is developed. I like the killings more. I like the dialogue more. And like I said, I think Pamela's performance is stronger here.
Yeah, she grew into her role.
Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong, I love the second one too, but I just think this one is my favorite.
Yep.
Of the three. All right, that was unnecessary. I like the way they all said "where" at the same time.
Yes.
I remember this image of him hanging that was on the back of the VHS.
Yeah.
Time to play. The object of the game is to stay alive. Rules are simple. Marcia is in one of the 3 cabins behind you. Is she in cabin number 1, cabin number 2, or cabin number 3? You have exactly 2 minutes to find out. If you run away, I'll kill you. If you don't find her, I'll kill you. And if you hurt me in any way, I will kill you. Any questions? Good. On your mark, get set, go! You think I'm joking?
Your last 15 seconds.
I'm dead serious. And you just lost 15 seconds. And you just stepped on my performance. Poor Anita. I feel bad for her the most. Because again, she didn't do anything.
Yeah. This is like a prelude to the Human Centipede.
Not at all. No.
Oh, because they're all tied together.
Yes, I get what you were. I see what you did there, but no. Mm-mm. When she had time to set this all up, I have no idea.
And like,
especially with
she
the
managed to get all the
candles.
candles. Yeah.
Yeah. But you just some of this stuff you just have to roll with it. Again, they couldn't find an axe, a fake axe, because the one that
only had
kills
one.
Anita, yeah, the one that kills Anita, it's like a hatchet tied to a stick.
Oh, at least I didn't just use a stick and pretend that was enough to kill her.
Yeah.
Well, I've got to be going. All the phone lines have been cut, but there's a payphone about 3 miles up the road at a little store. I have to admit, I kind of had a crush on you.
Maybe that's why she decided to kill Marcia, because she wanted that Mexican dick too.
It's like our discussion at the end of The Crush. All she needed was a vibrator.
I don't know. Well, no, because you don't get, if you're trans, you don't get any kind of
well, you can have anal
anything
stimulation
down there. that's why a lot of trans people don't go for the operation, the full operation, because you don't get any stimulation.
Well, I mean, I've known a few post-op trans gender people, and they like the fact that they have a vagina.
Yeah.
And there is some sort
I
of
get that, but some people still want to have sex, have a sex life, and while you can, if you're post-op, it's not really enjoyable because,
well, you can still have anal, which has got its pleasure,
I guess, but to each their own. Yeah. And that's the thing too with female to male transgender. They like 99% of them don't.
Well, yeah, it is harder to create a penis because you need to grow it onto your own self. I think something like they attach a skin graft to, like, let's say your leg or stomach, and then create a penis using your own flesh, and then.
I think maybe.
I think
it doesn't.
The penis is just decorative. Yeah.
The testicles are implants, and basically all you do out of it is pee. You can't get a boner unless you get like an apparatus.
Yeah. No, I mean, and again, I've known post-op female to male, and they joked how they once accidentally left. They were delivery drivers, and they accidentally left their silicone penis in the van, and they had to call up. Oh, did we leave something in?
You've known people from all walks of life. Sounds like.
Well, I like to get to know everyone's story.
Did we say? Well, I know. I don't think I did, but I think you said something a little racially insensitive. But do you think we said anything to offend the trans community? I hope not.
Well, I think that the movie is more offensive than anything we said.
Just take.
Like, I wish that there had been some trans delicacy in the movie.
Trans delicacy.
Well, I feel, yeah.
You mean sensitivity?
Yeah. Because I feel that, I think that's been something that made me always feel sorry for Angela, is that she was forced into a different gender. And like, I've never seen it as a transgender person being the villain. Like, because that was sort of something of the day where the gay community was villainized. But I see this one as being I always see her auntie as being the villain, ultimately, of...
yeah, of course.
She's like the Frankenstein monster of her aunt.
Yeah. I don't mind this song.
And we get to see if they've got a post-credit. Oh, there's the raccoon wrangler.
Oh.
Of Valerie
Hartman.
Mm. Maybe the filmmaker calls his penis the raccoon.
Oh, for God's sake.
No, well, because weren't you saying that she got with the filmmaker?
I don't know, maybe.
Oh. Because I know with Fleetwood Mac, the songwriter, his nickname for his penis was Tusk, and that's where the name of that song came from.
Oh, God. but there was a raccoon in the movie.
Oh, that's right. Well, both could be true. Cute. Gotta love a xylophone in a rock song.
Oh, God. Yeah, I like this one because it's not as heavy hair metal-ish as the other one.
The
And I
intro
think
one.
this one is a synthesized beat. It's not, I don't think it's a drum beat.
Oh, okay. No actual drummer. Angela's rap gets mentioned in the songs. Lyrics by Mac the Duke.
Oh. So do you like it any better this time around?
I did enjoy it. The first time I sort of I watched it on the big screen TV, and it had a bit of buffering because I watched it through YouTube, and that was probably my big mistake. I was able to enjoy it a bit better this time around.
Hmm.
And there was
we don't get
no
no post credits. Well, probably because Screen Factory doesn't own the rights to Return to Sleepaway Camp, and I think they, among a lot of other people, would like to forget that movie exists.
They'd like to return it.
Yes, they would like to return it. Yes.
This I thought that the cover of Sleepaway Camp 3 was because it's a woman. The one that I had was a woman in like a tank top with a knife. Like, it was the most sexual of them all.
No, it's a cocktail dress.
Oh, really? Oh, that makes even less sense.
Yeah, I think because you see less of it because of the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Because it's a little more tight, but yeah, she's wearing a cocktail dress.
Okay.
That is my my favorite cover too.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I used to like the second one because of, the chainsaw and the hockey mask and all that stuff. But the novelty has worn off.
It hitched its wagon to other horror movies at the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Since then, so many other movies have paid homage to those biggies. So I think
I always like part one's cover art, just the the sneaker through the knife.
Knife through the sneaker.
I said what I said.
Mm-hmm.
It's
yeah, we talked about this before. I think you're in the first one. Yeah, I like that one too because it's just so weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have t-shirts for all three because I am awesome like that. And because the Mystery of Kelly Christopher, available in Kindle paperback and audiobook, thank you very much, is so heavily not inspired by, is such a huge homage to all of these movies, and Sleepaway Camp 3 is mentioned in the book. In the picture, my author picture in the back, I'm wearing my Sleepaway Camp 3 t-shirt.
Oh, lovely. I'll have to give the picture a look out.
Or you could just buy the goddamn book.
Yes, I could. I'm still doing my job applying, so hopefully I hear back from something soon. Because I told you that's my present to myself. When I get a job, I'll Amazon one of your books.
Oh.
Well, I've been eager to check them out, so.
Well, I mean, if you would just get the fucking if you just download Amazon and the Audible app, I would give you some codes for some audiobooks.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
I told
So
you.
do you have any?
Do you have any final thoughts on the movie?
Yeah. Any Jerry Springer final thoughts?
Oh God. Well, I think it holds up. I still think it's a lot of fun, and I hope I didn't annoy people too much by reciting the lines and doing the rap. But I had to do it because it's so much fun for me. I love it. And I love the writing, and I love the performances, especially Pamela.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I don't remember who it's by, but Teenage Wasteland is a song by somebody.
Oh, okay. The Who.
Did you just make that up?
I did. Well, I can't tell. I can't tell at the moment.
All right. Well, yeah, but that's okay. What about you? Do you have any final thoughts?
Just apologies if I offended anyone. I was quite hungover. And there we go. Oh, what's the Who? I was correct.
Oh, okay.
Give myself a pat on the back.
Oh, I thought that's why you went silent there, because you were looking it up. I thought you went silent because you were trying to profess your sincerity, and that's what made me laugh even harder.
Yes, and it was my sincerity. I did get a bit drunk, but not terribly drunk.
Yeah, we know that. Tony likes a little nip here and there.
I know what you mean. Well, yeah, I didn't have one today because, yes, I had a bottle of Sauvignon Blanc last night. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So I think we should wrap it up, rather.
We'll let Angela wrap it. Or you could wrap it, actually, because you know the words.
Yes, I can do that. Mm-hmm. Well, okay. So I want to thank you for doing this commentary with me. It was a lot of fun.
And thank you to Mr. Ford.
And I want to say thank you for everybody who has been listening to the podcast. And yeah, until next time, this is Brandon Ford wishing you all unpleasant dreams. Good night, campers.